Welcome to today's video. I am so excited about today's video. This is part 4 of my MAC Training Secrets Revealed series. I took a little break over the holiday, naturally. And today I have a very special guest. This is my friend Christine.
I'm so excited to be here.
So excited.
Hi guys.
So Christine pretty much taught me every single thing I know. Christine has a, I can't even go over her makeup resume because we'd be here for an hour. But how Christine and I know each other is we both worked for MAC. She was actually my boss. So when I called myself a trainer, she was my boss. It was the two of us. We were the trainers for our region. We would go around and train all of the MAC artists within our region. So everything from basic train, which was new artists that just start with MAC. They go through a week-long training. Artists that are with the company every 3 months, we would do what we called MAC Update, where we would refresh people on makeup artistry skills and new product development. So we were a team.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great.
We had a blast.
It was a really fun 2 years. We would travel all around South Texas and host these trainings together. So neither one of us are working for MAC. We've gone different directions, but Christine is still in the makeup business. And we recently just kind of reconnected. We stay in touch, but it's been a little while since we saw each other.
Yeah.
But anyway,
we come back, go together, come back, go together. It's awesome.
I asked her, I said, hey, you have to be on my channel. You have to share everything. You know, I think this is probably the best makeup teacher I have ever known.
Aww,
Christine has such a special gift of teaching people makeup in an easy, understandable way and giving people sound bites that you never forget. Like, I think a lot of things that I say in my makeup videos, I've learned from her. And I was reminded of that today when you were doing my makeup. I was like, yep, I got that from you.
I'm like, Lisa, you're probably going to remember. I still say this. I still say this stuff. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm so excited. Christine just did my makeup, and she is basically going to share tips and tricks from everything from skin, complexion, to eyeshadow, to cheeks, to lips. She's kind of sharing all of her good tips and tricks. So without further ado, let's get started.
All right, you ready, Freddie?
I'm ready.
Okay. Are you rolling?
It's so interesting that you use this brush. I cannot make those brushes work for me. Like, I mean, I know
what's your biggest challenge with them?
Well, I know I used to back in the day, like before these kind of foundation brushes became a thing. But now I just use these. I feel like it's hard for me to get it to buff into the skin.
Well, I think we should be recording this.
It is. It's recording.
Okay, awesome. So I think the big thing with this, I am using the liquid minerals. And so let me just talk a little bit about this because this is like liquid magic. So Liquid Minerals by Jane Iredale, it has these little color pearls in it. That's the color. And it also has the gel. It's kind of what's suspending the color beads. And it's coenzyme Q10 and vitamin C and hyaluronic serum. So it firms. It is such an amazing finish. It feels like water, but literally it looks like an airbrush. It looks like a selfie filter immediately. And I'm going to use it on you first.
And it works well with the brush.
It works great with this brush. Here's the thing. Because
it's not thick.
It's a serum and a makeup had a baby. So if you think about it, if you use something that's super fluffy, because we were just talking about like using a fluffier brush, all of the serum is going to soak up in your brush and not leave the goodness on your skin, the good juice on your skin. So I'm actually just going to go into it, and it comes out like a mousse. It comes out kind of fluffy.
Can I spray it? Put a little on my hands?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And what I want you to do too.
This is kind of what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks fluffy. So it shouldn't come out watery, but if it does, it's okay. And Lisa, what I love too is I know that's a whole lot on your hand.
I'll get a wipey.
That's okay. No. Go ahead and rub that in. And while I'm applying this to the skin, I'm going to have you do a pinch test, and I'll kind of show you how cool it is. So I always start with color on the cheek. And you can kind of see it may leave those little pigment balls for just a second. But I start in the cheek and pull down. And then I go in little circles. I think the biggest thing that people have challenges with this brush is, or this type of brush being synthetic, is pushing too hard. And then you get streaky. See, there I just did it. You can see the little streaks. So it's more like
very light-handed little circles. Use the tip of the brush.
Exactly. And so, yeah. And then turn towards me just a wink. And I'm going to do the forehead. This is a great makeup. I use it pretty much underneath any foundation because it firmed so much that it's just tightening, pretty, brightening, all of that.
Yeah, it feels like a skincare treatment, not like a makeup.
It is like a skincare treatment. That's a perfect way to talk about it. And so in 2 minutes, it really sets up, and that's when you can really see the difference. Especially on skin that's a little bit, I mean, I'm almost 50. It's a little bit crepey. You can really see the difference. And my idea is if it firms on the face, why not do it under your eye and on your eyelid?
Oh,
if I could put this on my butt and my arms and my boobs, I would.
Why can't you?
I know, right? Who's stopping me? Nobody. Go ahead and shut for me.
And so it won't interfere with eyeshadow?
Mm-mm. It's just going to firm. It's just going to give you a little bit more firming action. And Lisa, we were going to talk about prime looks because we're old school matte girls. And in talking about that, I usually do foundation last, but I really wanted to showcase this foundation first so you can kind of see it.
So does this give any coverage? Or
It does. It says, if you look online, it says it's super sheer, but I find it's pretty darn good coverage. Have a look at that.
A mirror.
Oh, you need a mirror.
I've got one right
here. Okay,
here.
perfect.
The Texas size bronzer.
Yeah, I'm like, hello, bronzer.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, bronzer.
It does. I have a little pinkness in my cheeks and it definitely kind of evens it out.
And it is soft, but it has some pretty good coverage to it, in my opinion. So I'm going to talk about BB cream. So guys, this is a gem. It lasts about a year. It takes the size of a pearl. As you see right here, it's
hold it up.
Oh, hold it up higher like that. Oh, there we go. So I picked 2 shades because with the color I thought Lisa was, she's actually a little bit deeper. But this is enough for her whole face. So if you're using more, I say it's the size of a pearl or a BB. It's called BB cream.
It has a lot more coverage than I thought. This is actually mine. I purchased this myself about a year or so ago. And I was surprised with how much coverage it is.
It has a ton of coverage. So also too, again, I'm going to lay it on the cheek. I don't necessarily like to start on one side of the face and paint it because you may not need that much coverage.
Okay, talk about that, about starting in the center of the face, because that's something I always talk about, and it's from my MAC days.
Well, and I feel like we're all in a rush. We all have, 1.0 minutes to do makeup, and I feel like we all think that we need to repaint everything, and you don't necessarily need to do that. If you don't have anything to cover out here, don't put it. So I'm going to start over here. And yeah, at least you have a little bit more pink on your cheek. I am going to pull it down. Minerals are really nice because they're instant sunscreen. They're just really pretty sunscreen with treatment. That's what, everything has an SPF in it. And
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, everything has an SPF because minerals are a natural SPF. Which is really nice. Minerals, there's 5 minerals. And when they lay on the skin, they just naturally create
a barrier.
Well,
and if you think about it, the sun hits, when the sun hits your face, it hits kind of the center of your face. So that's where I at least get more sun damage. Little freckles or dark spots.
Absolutely. And I'm using this as an eyeshadow primer as well. This has amazing coverage. I'm going to use it a little bit underneath the eye. Sometimes I try to put this as concealer as well. Can you guys see? Can you guys see that how much I've used? Like I haven't even used that whole thing at all. Like I don't know. I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways so you guys can maybe see a little bit better. Lisa, you're going to have to help me because I don't know.
I don't work for him.
Yep. Good. So yeah, it takes very, very little. Go ahead and shut again for me. And another thing too that I used to kind of teach makeup artists is when you're using creamy products, the harder you press, the less blended things are going to be. So when in doubt, press it out is something I used to say a whole lot, which is going to bring a lot of memories back to Lisa because I always talk kind of in sound bites to people. So I'm going to do a little bit more circles around the center.
So are you using this as my concealer? Or
I am. I'm going to see if it does enough because if it does, cool. If not, we'll add more.
So what's your take on doing like steps in doing your makeup? Do you like to do the eyes first, skin first?
So if I'm doing a dark eye, I usually start there first. I kind of wanted to start with skin. I am obsessed with this foundation. In a magazine, this is actually Jennifer Lopez's favorite foundation. This is that J.Lo Glow. It's matte, but it has a pearl to it, so it looks like skin.
That's what I need.
And look at that.
Oh, my eyes. I'm not very good at getting my makeup done.
No, you're good. Let's see. Let's do the other side. And do you notice I'm not grabbing a concealer brush?
Yeah, you're all about like multitasking products.
And I think, if you've got it and we can make it quick. you'll have a tendency to do it.
Well, and let's be honest. I feel like the cosmetic industry is a lot of marketing telling you need this brush for this specific purpose.
Yeah.
And you need this product for this specific purpose. And really, a true artist, I feel like, approaches makeup like an artist, a painter approaches their artwork, you know? And it's it's like, what tool is going to help me achieve what I want? And that's what, and you don't need all of it, you know?
You do not need 700 brushes. I think you need 5 to 7 brushes, because a lot of brushes that you use you can use multiple places.
It's so pretty.
Do you like it?
Yes, it's
perfect.
Glowy, but it's not like greasy looking. You know, it's like that natural kind of radiant look.
I love it.
Would you set it with powder?
You can.
Yeah.
You absolutely can. It's going to knock down the glow. It just depends on your glow factor, like how much you want. So I am going to show you guys something that I feel is really important to know. So these are two, Jane makes 3 bronzers, but I think these are like the 2 most versatile ones. So as you can see, this is So Bronze 2, this is So Bronze 3. It has a crescent moon that has a glowy kind of golden color. It's stunning. And this one has a pinky one. You're going to see the matte skin tone shade is more golden and the matte skin tone shade is more pink. So what I do when I'm picking out a color to use for bronzer and a crease color both is I look at somebody's undertone. I think it's really important to know to go with the opposite undertone of the skin. Lisa's pretty golden. She has a tiny bit of pink, but she's pretty golden. So I'm going to pick So Bronze 3, and I'm only going to use the matte color. I am not going to swirl the whole palette together for bronzer. 2 things. Matte shades pull in, kind of like look lifted, and shimmer colors push out. So once you know that kind of is a good rule of thumb to know for eyeshadow. So you may not necessarily want to go shimmery everywhere. If you want something to look lifted and not textured, which is a really pretty way of saying not wrinkly, matte is the way to go. I'm actually going to use this on Lisa's cheeks for contour. I'm also going to use it as a really quick prime look. So I'm going to go ahead and, so I personally like bronzer, not necessarily contour. I don't want to look like a painted lady. So I want it to look, if you go to the grocery store, I don't want people to go, oh yeah, she's got bronzer and she needs to blend that in. So a fluffy brush, I'm not using the fluffiest brush. I'm actually using a blush brush, and I'm not going to push really hard. Wherever you place your brush, you're going to have the most deposit of color. And I'm going to lightly go on Lisa's cheek.
Oh yeah, that's higher than I kind of usually go.
Well, and sometimes it can get real contoury.
Yeah.
You can look like RoboCop real quick. Another thing too is I'm going to pinch this brush almost like flat, like a taco.
Okay.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm going to kind of pop it in a little bit so it dusted all of the color off the brush. And I'm literally going to go back and forth like a little windshield wiper right on the bone. So I want to show you that really quick look.
Oh my gosh.
In 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it doesn't look like I have makeup, but when I compare the 2 eyes, look at the 2, look at the monitor.
Oh yeah, it looks great. Oh, totally. Well, and you can start this way because it looks really kind of airbrushed in a wash, so to speak. There are no rules, remember that.
I love that. I get a lot of questions about, you know, can I do this? Can I do that with makeup, or are we not supposed to do that? And I feel like, just like you said, there's no rules. I think the first rule is, do you like it? Do you feel pretty in it? If you do, then do it, you know?
Try one.
But I think understanding the fundamentals of makeup and color theory, that helps you make like more educated. Like if you're trying to lift your eye, knowing those theories will help you choose the right products to use. But that doesn't mean you can't go the total opposite direction and do everything against that if you feel good in it. You know?
And knowing placement is huge. So when you can make, like you were just saying, you can make better choices about trying something cool and weird and different that's out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to take a tighter brush that Lisa has. Help me here.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys see it?
Yeah.
It's basically like a really tight, what you would call a crease brush. I really like to call it a bone brush because I feel like people put color too low. I have seen some of Lisa's videos where she talks about this. So I like to have people,
you taught me that.
Yeah. So here's the thing, and I'm gonna talk just like we used to talk at Mac. So I'm gonna pretend like this is a brush, and this is what people do. Oh yeah, open. They actually shut for me. They go back and forth. They're like, oh yeah, I got it right in the crease. And then they open their eye and all their color's gone. So for me, it's like wearing your bra on your hips. Like you're wearing it, but it's not in the right spot. And it's certainly not lifting anything. So you want to look straight ahead in the mirror. And you want to put the brush on the bone. Again, I am not pressing really hard.
No,
I'm going to start on the outside. This is the same bronzer.
So you're using the same bronzer.
And I'm going to go back and forth and just make it a little bit more intense in that spot. And I kind of go back and forth, and then I go in little circles. Let's talk about what a prime look is. Basically, it's again with the bra and underwear thing. It's basically putting the structure into the skin before you put really your amplified color on, so to speak. So do you guys see one side to the other? It's just a little bit more intense. Lisa, can you see that, or do I need to do a little bit darker?
No, it looks great. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see. So
another thing too, I'm a really big proponent of not having one giant streak under your brow. I really like it to be, I like to pull it up into the brow a little bit, just so it looks a little bit softer. You know, makeup is all about style. And like she said earlier, like you said earlier, if you feel comfortable in it, rock it. I think going a little bit
I never
more.
want to be the YouTube channel that tells a woman that what she's doing is wrong, and she loves it, and she loves it, and she feels beautiful. And I never want to be like, no, you can't do that. You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm using a little bit of a hydrating spray, and this is actually one of my friends that she is a perfumer, and this is a rose oil spray. That's like a rose water, and I actually used it this morning. It's brand new.
Can I show the brush you're using?
Yeah.
This is the 213. Did they discontinue this brush?
I think they did.
Can you believe that?
No. Shame on them.
One of my favorite brushes.
That just means you have to come out with your own brushes. What?
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. No judge.
I did talk about that in a video. It'd be my favorite, and I got a lot of comments. It's been discontinued. I couldn't believe it.
I'm actually going to spray this as I spray Lisa on the side.
So you actually sprayed the product?
I did.
Okay.
I did. So here's the thing. This is a bronzer that quad. It has 4 colors. This is an older one, but it now looks like this if you see it online. But I did want to show you guys something. I'm a big proponent of using like 5 to 7 products, and that's it on people. So I have Lisa's Prime look on here. This is actually a bronzer slash blush slash highlighter that I'm going to use on her eyes, highlight, and I'm actually going to use this as lip color as well.
Lip color?
Lip color.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I'm going to press this on the eye, and I'm going to go under. Do you guys see that? I'm not really sweeping with it. I'm just kind of pressing it in. Again, that when in doubt, press it out.
Oh yeah, that's pretty.
So yeah, so when the pressed minerals are wet, they go on a little bit more metallic, and they have more pop. So that's a little tricky trick with minerals in general.
Is this what you had on your eyes when I saw you Sunday?
It is.
Okay, it looked so purple on you.
Yeah, and it's so funny because I think it looks a little purple on you too. Like in the compact, it actually looks bronzy. So yeah, the tip of the brush, go ahead and look up for me. Just gonna make a messy little under eyeliner. And you can blink anytime you want. Yeah, I love versatility with product for sure. And I love being able to show unexpected ways to use product.
Ooh.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's do a little lip because I want to show you that because I think you're like intrigued. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this pinky peach color and I'm going to blend them together.
And it's not going to be too drying on the lips.
Well, we're going to put gloss on top.
Okay.
So this is really the color.
The pigment, I guess, right?
And if you need a matte lip, there you go. Yeah, pull your little compact out because you're going to want to see that.
Oh my gosh. Oh,
so
wow.
It's stunning. And the cool thing is when you have that quad, you can mix them and make any color you want. So I'm going to put a little snowberry gloss on top. I love it. It looks like champagne bubbles to me, and I'll pull it out in a second and let you guys see it. We were talking about lip liner earlier, and I do want to show you my old school MAC trick that I used to do all the time. It used to freak people out and customers out. I'm going to use this Laura Gellar lip liner.
So this is the shade Nude.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of mine.
And so I love to show people lipstick first, liner second. So what I do is I put the color on, and then I'll sketch a line on the outside corner and then fill in the inside corner. So if I were doing this really dramatic, you could see it. I think you can actually see it pop right now. But when you fill in the inside corner, it just makes it not look like one single line around the lip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty.
So let's do liner. So this is a cream liner, and I want you to know that you absolutely can use pencil. You can absolutely use a liquid. So basically, I'm going to load up the brush. I guess it's right here where you can see it. I'm going to load up the brush. So look up for me, Lisa, and I'm literally just going to paint the waterline. And I'm going to lift. This is going to feel kind of weird. I'm going to lift, and I'm actually just going to push it onto the waterline on top. And Lisa, look towards me.
Do you remember when we would work at MAC and we would say, open and look down, and everyone would go like this?
Or they would say, open and look down, and they would look down at the floor. Their whole face would go, and I'm like, okay, I can't get to you. I totally remember that.
I like how you said, look at the floor. I'm going to start doing that one.
So guys, something else that I feel like sometimes people stop with liner is they'll stop right here before the tear duct ends. Do the whole line. It'll stay longer. So if you got any little smudges, you just clean them up with a little bit of the shadow, because it doesn't really matter. That's the cool thing with a smoky eye. You can make a mess and it's not really a thing. So let's talk about primer. Is this primer?
Lash primer.
Okay, giant proponent of lash primer. I'm also a giant proponent of Grande Lash, and I'm kind of obsessed with Thrive mascara right now as well.
Okay, so I have Grande Lash serum, but I don't have the mascara.
So the mascara has the growth factor in it.
It does?
It does.
Oh,
and it has, you know what? I might use that on you. I just need to find a little mascara wand.
I've got some.
So this is another thing that I'm huge proponent of, that you can like totally cheat and make your lashes look 3 times as thick and long very quick, is do the top of the lash and then kind of press and wiggle. Lisa's lashes have just like tripled in size. Can you guys see that? They look a little like the Snow Queen right now because they've got this white primer on them. Do you guys see that?
It's hard to tell with the...
Okay, they're going to be giant. So I'm going to go really quick and roll it on.
And you do the same thing, top lash and then bottom.
Another thing too is if you get mascara on your lid, leave it. Don't touch it. Let it dry a second, and then get your fingernail and just kind of touch it a little bit, and it'll come right off. If you rub it when your mascara is wet, it'll become one with your eye makeup. Do you guys see how big that made them?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go really fast in for the second. Yeah, this is a pretty awesome little friend.
It is.
So let's talk about this little bronzing kit again. Okay. Bronzing kit.
Hold it up a little.
Yeah, this is called Sunbeam. And I'm going to use what do I want to use? I'm going to use a big, giant 224 brush from MAC, old school. And I'm going to wind up that highlight color. So you can use these individually. And I'm going to use this as a little bit of a highlight. And I'm going to tell you a little secret. When you highlight right here for some reason, it makes everybody look sweet as pie. I just want to show you I haven't got to your brow yet, but how you can get that glow. So I wouldn't necessarily put...
It's pretty.
It's really pretty. I am going to go back over it because I feel like I'm kind of being a little stripey. If you feel... I mean, it's A-okay to kind of get the color on and then go back over it. Go right on top of the tear duct.
Do you remember what I think it was Ashley used to call this? Regina.
Oh, did she?
Did he call it instant celebrity?
And it is, yes. And the thing is, it doesn't have to be stark white. I just want to really say that. Another thing, too, that we used to do a whole lot of is right on top of the lip. I'm going to go back over it real quick.
Oh, okay. So you just go over everything with a big fluffy brush.
I do. It just blends everything out, so it takes all the guesswork out. So I forgot to do your cute little on your cheek. In pictures, this just really looks natural and rested.
I never think to kind of highlight that, but that's a deep fold line.
Right here. Well, and I'm not going in the fold. I'm literally going next to your nose.
But I could see how that kind of minimizes the fold line.
It does.
You know?
It does. So again, with this being very forgiving, I'm just taking a little bit, like I felt like I messed up a little bit.
So you're taking this product and you're going over the makeup to blend things out a little?
Well, because I grabbed a brush and it had a darker color in it,
got it.
which is kind of cool. Because I love to show
how to fix things.
Yes, easy peasy. Like, don't freak out, basically. Like, it's just makeup, guys. Okay, brows. I've got to do Lisa's brows because I love them. Brows are kind of my thing. So this is a really deep color, but I want to show you guys a little trick. So I'm going to line underneath really lightly. I'm going to pull her brow out. So what I like to do is go here and extend her brow a little bit. Do you guys see that? Like where her brow stops, the hair stops. And I'm coloring the skin. I am not coloring the hair. That's a big thing. I'm not doing this super dark either. I'm not pressing really hard.
You're not.
You use a little comb.
Soften it.
And then figure out what didn't stick. Do a little bit more. Do you guys see that? Yeah. Brows are huge. They're part of your expression. They're how people read you. Like awake, asleep. Like brows are huge. A couple of things. I'm a threader. Eyebrow threader. I have to talk people off of ledges all the time. Your brows are not going to be identical. You sleep on one side. You have a muscle that's stronger usually on the other side. You want to make them more even. And I know this phrase has been said forever and ever. They're sisters, not twins. They should not look like distant cousins, but they should look close. So Lisa's brow on when you're looking at her on the right side's a little bit thicker than this one. So I'm going to add a little bit on top. Not a lot, just a wink on top. You can do this with pencil. You can do this with eyeshadow. You can do this with cream liner. So it just depends on what you have. Choosing a brow color, pretty much I would pick the darkest low light in the hair. This is a little teeny bit more red than what I would have picked. But why not? It's totally going to work. And a little bit darker is going to be better for this eye anyway, this look. Drawing a line there so you have a line where it really looks crisp is smart because it really says where the brow starts and stops. I like the top to be a little softer. You can totally do that whole Audrey Hepburn look on top. Like this is a little bit more dramatic.
Oh yeah, these are darker than I normally go.
Definite. Oh, you mean you do them a little less than this? Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. Look in your giant compact, girl. That's hilarious.
Pretty.
So what do you think?
I like it.
And then I am going to use a finishing spray. How do you feel about finishing sprays? What's your jam about them?
Yeah.
Yep. Nope. Watch your toes. I like them too, a lot. And especially with minerals, when you wet a mineral, it just becomes one with the face and it looks softer.
Okay.
It just looks softer. In fact, I think every makeup you should set. Shut for me. And I'm just going to lightly mist. So it is going to look wet for a second. And I know that, Lisa, you said that you had a really great, do you have a powder that you like, a finishing powder? Do you have it? Let's do that.
So here what we're using is this powder. This is by Makeup Forever. I'll have everything linked down below.
I love Makeup Forever. One of my good friends works for Makeup Forever. She was one of my old roommates. Yeah.
So you do a setting spray and then you do a finishing powder.
Just makes things softer. And I'm only matting. I'm not matting everywhere. Like I'm kind of leaving your nose a little shiny.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Well, that's the look. We are done, sister.
Perfect.
I mean, I can go on for 7 years doing makeup, but yeah.
Yeah, we don't have 7 years.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you. All right, you guys. Well, this is the finished look. I really love it. I love getting my makeup done by someone else because I find little like tweaks to what I normally do that is different, and I like it, and I learn different things along the way. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me, guys. I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, I know they will. Let me know what you think. Leave all your questions in the comment section below. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!